Welcome to Badminton Unlimited, your weekly access to badminton action and beyond. This week we catch up with Germany's mixed doubles duo Michael Fuchs and Birgit Michels as they spearhead the growth of badminton in the country. And we look at Bahrain's push to develop the sport in the kingdom. Whilst Denmark represents the pinnacle of European badminton, there are a number of other nations bidding to reach its level. Germany, once a major player in the regional badminton community, is one of the countries trying to play catch-up. And while Mark Zwiebler is the current poster boy of that resurgence, there is a duo that is also shouldering this burden. Birgit Michels and Michael Fuchs are the #1 mixed double shuttlers in Germany, are ranked 10th in the world, and are currently on course to appear at the season-ending BWF Destination Dubai tournament.
I think we're quite different on court, but it somehow still works out for us because she's more the intuitive player and I'm a bit more the strategic player that tries to plan ahead.
And I think that we always have also fun on court. That's very good for us also if we are in a bad way or something like that. So we always enjoy and have fun. So that's very important.
Both Fuchs and Michels began their badminton journey thanks to their family. Michael was introduced to the game through his mother and father.
Well, my parents both played badminton, and as a small kid they always took me to their matches, so I was running around in the hall, and of course I wanted to play myself as well. And then my grandma started to play with me in our garden, in our backyard, and then somehow I got started.
Whilst Birgit had her mother and sister to pave the way.
Yeah, I had the same. It was my mom and my sister, so I started quite early. I was 4. And yeah, I'm still playing. So.
Not far apart in age, the two would often meet each other at national tournaments.
I think my very first impression was in the German national championships under 14, when we had to play each other in the first round. And she was playing with Mark Zwiebler at that time, and that was one of my biggest wins in junior badminton because we could beat them in 3 sets.
As they moved into the senior circuit, they each began to concentrate on their particular categories. Fuchs in the men's doubles and Michels in the women's. But 4 years ago, a decision was taken by the German Badminton Association to develop a mixed doubles partnership to represent the nation. Michels had grown to be one of the best doubles specialists in the country, and her skills were very much in demand.
Birgit was the only mixed doubles lady in the German squad, and of course many guys wanted to play with her, and so we had a casting tournament in Korea and 1 week later in Malaysia, so 1 Asia tour, and I somehow won the casting round, and then we had our first official tournament at the beginning of our partnership was Canada and US Open 2010.
They won the US Open that year and took the Canadian Open title in 2011. Unseeded, they made it to the semi-finals of the All England Championships that same year, before succumbing to eventual winners Schuchern and Ma Jin. They were also instrumental in Germany taking the European Mixed Team Badminton Championships silver medal in 2011, then gold in 2013. But the most memorable moment for the duo came 2 years ago at the London Olympics.
Definitely the Olympic tournament 2012. We had a very tough draw. We were in one group with Zhang Nan and Zhao Yunlai from China, the world champions, and the runners-up of the world championships, Chris Adcock and Imo Bankier. And we lost our first match against the Chinese in our group, very clearly. So that was a tough one for us, and a day later we were down 1 set against Bankier and Adcock, but somehow we could turn the match around and won that match and won our final group match to make it into the quarterfinals. That was really a great experience and a great tournament for us.
Yeah, it was for sure the same, because I played the Olympics 2008 and I had just 1 game there, and So I was really happy that we had the groups in London and that we started really bad, but we came back and reached the quarterfinal. Was very, very good, yeah.
This season has been one of their most consistent since their partnership. They've reached the finals of 2 Super Series events, the Australia and Japan Opens, and have made it to the weekends of a number of tournaments. This year's achievements have been reflected in their elevated status in both the BWF World Rankings and Destination Dubai. But even as the duo face the possibility of ending the season on a high, their attention turns to the development of badminton in their country. And for that, they're looking at the nation not too far from their shores.
The Danish competitors are very clever on a tactical level, and that's quite comparable or similar to the German style. Of course, Denmark has a lot longer tradition and they have more and better players. But yeah, that's one of our goals, to become as successful as the Danish team.
Michael Fuchs and Birgit Michels have been the mainstays of doubles play in Germany this decade. As the nation continues to build its reputation amongst the elite in the game, their contribution to that growth needs to be applauded.
Hi, my name is Hans-Kristian Vittinghus. This is All of Me.
And here comes Hans-Kristian Vittinghus from Denmark. Very positive play indeed from Hans-Kristian Vittinghus.
Oh my goodness, that's a good smash from Vittinghus.
I first started playing badminton when I was 5 years old. When I was only 7 years old in a local club, and I played in the second best league or division, and I won that tournament, so I had a very good start to my badminton career.
Good accurate smash from the Dane.
My playing style is very aggressive.
Oh, he's suddenly upped his pace, he's been more aggressive in his style.
I can also be a very calm and collected player. I think when I play my best game, I'm a mixture of those 2 types of game.
Picked up shots that I didn't think were possible.
Well, he's one of those players that works and refuses to give up.
Highlight of my career was winning Bitburger Open 2011 or making the quarterfinal the same year of the World Championships.
It's perfect. Hans-Kristian Vittinghus defeats the European champion, Mark Schwedler.
It's time for some trivia. We want you to name the player who won their first Grand Prix gold title at this year's Swiss Open. The answer after the break. On the other side, we're in Bahrain as it continues its push to re-establish badminton in the kingdom. Before the break, we asked you to name the player who won their first Grand Prix gold title at this year's Swiss Open. The answer is Viktor Axelsen. The 20-year-old claimed his debut Grand Prix gold title in the men's singles against Chinese opponent Tian Hou-wei. It took 3 games for the Dane to register the win in Basel, 21-7, 16-21, 25-23. 2014 has been a breakthrough season for the former World Junior Championships gold medalist. He made it to the semi-final stage of the Leaning BWF World Championships in Denmark in September. Ever since it was announced that the MetLife BWF World Super Series finals would be held in Dubai, badminton interest has gathered pace in the Middle East. The prospect of having the globe's finest shuttlers gathering in one of its major cities has certainly been a big factor. But for the Kingdom of Bahrain, an island country located in the western shores of the Persian Gulf, the sport had already gained traction well before these recent developments. Enthusiasts have been playing the sport for more than half a century.
Badminton started, early 60s, for example, in Bahrain, and Badminton Federation established in 1981. But from 81 until, say, 2001, we went through very good competition, like local teams. We had competition league and all these things.
But progress has been stunted since those heady days. A shortage of facilities and the rise of popularity of other sports, such as football, being amongst several factors. Recently on this show, we featured the Bahrain International Club Championships, held in its capital, Manama. This tournament, along with other initiatives in the country, is meant to kickstart interest in the sport. The federation has gone back to basics. The bulk of its rebuilding process is now devoted to school children.
Last year, we organized Shuttle Time Bahrain. Shuttle Time Bahrain, we trained around 25 teachers from all the schools. We provide them with the equipment. Badminton now is existed in these schools.
So we are planning to convince Minister of Education to do it in primary and elementary level for the youngest, which is 6 to 12 years old, to consider at this level. So it is from the school. Once you get the competition and we make tournaments within the school, this will definitely improve and will progress the badminton in the area, and Bahrain especially.
In another positive step by the federation, efforts are also being aimed at increasing women's participation in badminton across all ages. An example of this commitment was in April this year, at the Peace and Sport Cup Women in Badminton Dubai 2014. Bahrain had its representatives there not only to learn about how to play the sport, but also the rules and regulations that govern it.
Umpiring is because it's so important. Anyone before play badminton have to know all the laws. So you start with know all the laws in the badminton game, and then you start playing. You have to understand before you play.
Women in Bahrain are encouraging to involve in all sports, including badminton. This is started from school and goes to unlimited to any age.
In 2011, I started training the female teachers as well. So we have badminton is begin played in the schools among the females and the boys.
While such grassroots development is well underway, the federation is also pushing for growth at the elite level. On top of organizing the club championships, the Bahrain International Challenge has been held annually since 2007. It is hoped that both the Bahraini players and administrators can benefit from engaging with the wide variety of players and officials.
This year, we have more than 130 players coming from many countries like India, Indonesia, Denmark, Greece, Singapore, and other countries participating in this tournament, which is really putting Bahrain in the international calendar and giving the local players an opportunity to play, compete, and see the high standard level.
We have a president with Sheikh Hassan bin Isa Al Khalifa. He's supportive and is one of badminton player and badminton lover. And he's very much supportive. And as I told you, once we get our facilities, the hall and our premises, then we'll hope with the coming 5 years it will be very good for badminton.
And now with the buzz surrounding Destination Dubai, the Federation is confident that it can only mean more good news, not just for the kingdom, but the region as well.
This will strengthen the game or progress the game in the area. And once we have Federation in UAE, this is very important for Arab and for Bahrain as well.
We are growing the sport among the Emiratis and the local population. And as of Bahrain and other countries, we are looking forward to get benefits of the huge project in Dubai. What I love to see is we have a GCC federation and GCC competition, which will push all the region for the sport. And I think badminton has a really good chance now to grow in the GCC countries.
With Bahrain taking advantage of the increasing profile of the sport, for the region, it's hoped it won't be long before badminton begins to prosper yet again in the kingdom. The MetLife BWF World Super Series 2014 entered its final leg at the Yonex Sunrise Hong Kong Open last week. It was a last-chance saloon for the Globe's shuttlers to rack up points and earn their place at the season finale, the BWF Destination Dubai World Super Series Finals. Opening finals day was the women's doubles, as Japanese pair Misaki Matsutomo and Ayaka Takahashi took on China's Tianqing and Zhao Yunlei. The head-to-heads favored heavily towards the Chinese world champions, so number 1 seeds Matsutomo and Takahashi had to be on top of their game. But despite their best efforts, Tian and Zhao proved too hot to handle for them once again. The Chinese pair clinched the match in straight games, 21-13, 21-13. It was Tai Tzu-Ying versus Nozomi Okuhara next in the women's singles. World number 48, Okuhara, had defeated a number of established names en route to the final, including Spanish world champion Carolina Marin the day before. But this final belonged to her opponent from Chinese Taipei. Tai wrapped up the match and clinched the 3rd Super Series title of her career in 47 minutes with a score of 21-19, 21-11. The men's singles had China's world number 2 Chen Long pitted against Korea's Son Won-ho. This was a rematch of last month's Denmark Open final, and world number 6 Son was hoping to go one better this time against the Chinese number 1 seed. In what was to be only his 2nd win over the reigning world champion in over 4 years, Son triumphed in straight games 21-19, 21-16. In the mixed doubles contest, China's Zhang Nan and Zhao Yunlei squared off against compatriots Xu Chen and Ma Jin. Number 2 seeds Xu and Ma have a wretched record in the head-to-heads. In 19 previous meetings, world champions Zhang and Zhao had triumphed in 17 of them. 42 minutes later, it was 18 wins. Zhang and Zhao followed up their China Open title last week by winning this one 21-14, 21-19. Liu Xiaolong and Qiu Zihan were China's final representatives for the day as they faced Indonesia's men's doubles tandem Muhammad Ahsan and Hendra Setiawan. The Southeast Asians have had an underwhelming year by their high standards. With only the All England title and the Asian Games gold to show for this season, the world number 3 pair were eager to add more silverware. That hunger was apparent. Ahsan and Hendra downed Liu and Qiu in 3 games, 21-16, 17-21, 21-15 for a deserved win. That concludes another exciting edition of the Yonex Sunrise Hong Kong Open. Next month, we bring you the highlights of the big one, the BWF Destination Dubai World Super Series Finals. After the break, we take a look at Malaysia's rising star, Chiam Junwei. This week's Player of the Week is Korea's men's singles shuttler Son Won-ho. The world number 6 clinched only his 2nd Super Series crown at the Yonex Sunrise Hong Kong Open last week, defeating reigning world champion Chen Long in straight games. His first title came 2 years ago at the Yonex Sunrise India Open. In a category where Korea has been lacking, Son's latest triumph is a positive sign for the East Asian powerhouse. The final BWF Destination Dubai rankings come out this Thursday, but ahead of that, let's take a look at some of the players hoping to make it on the plane to Dubai as we focus on the women's doubles. Japan rule the top of the standing, with Misaki Matsutomo and Ayaka Takahashi leading all. They're closely followed by Reiki Kakiiwa and Miyuki Maeda. Christina Pedersen and Camila Ritayul are the only Europeans in the top 10. China then dominate the rest of the automatic Destination Dubai placings, with Tianqing and Zhao Yunlei ahead of the nation's contingent. Korea then round off the top 10. Don't forget to check out the World Super Series' brand new website, www.bwfworldsuperseries.com, for the latest updates and the final Destination Dubai standings. For this week's One for the Future, we feature one of Malaysia's junior players, Chiam Junwei. The 17-year-old from Penang added to his reputation as an emerging talent when he clinched a gold medal in the recent Nanjing Youth Olympic Games in the mixed doubles. Badminton Unlimited caught up with the young shuttler, who's been residing in Kuala Lumpur, the capital of Malaysia, since he was 13. Chiam's badminton journey began like many before him, through his family's love for the sport.
I started playing badminton when I was 8. My father had brought me along with him whenever he went to play badminton. That was when I started to pick up the sport. I had won many inter-school tournaments when I was younger, like the under-9s and under-11s for both singles and doubles.
Buoyed by his success at the local tournaments, he stepped up a level as he began to play on the national junior circuit. Titles followed, and he was quickly noticed by the national selectors. Chiam was only 13 when he was enrolled in one of Malaysia's sports institutes, the Bukit Jalil Sports School. The Kuala Lumpur-based sports academy focuses on developing top-class student athletes. Not one to shun from tough training regimes, the right-hander began to make his mark in the international youth circuits.
I took part in the under-14 competition in Thailand and was the singles champion. I also won the under-14 title in Singapore.
A thoughtful player with a methodical approach to the game, he soon became a standout. In 2012, he clinched the under-17 men's singles title at the Li Ning Singapore Youth International Series. The following year, he won the under-19 title. Chiam's exploits in both the national and international youth circuits secured a call-up to Malaysia's national backup team this year. Playing and training with the senior shuttlers, his practice workload became heavier and more intense, but he thrived in this environment. Whilst in 2013 he only made it to the second round of the BWF World Junior Championships, this year he made it to the quarterfinals. And in the mixed team category, he won all his matches.
At the World Junior Championships, I did not think too much about my matches. I just played my game. I took each match at a time and just played with an open mind.
A good showing in the World Junior Championships and his number 7 World Junior ranking meant Chiam secured a trip to China for this year's Youth Olympic Games.
I was ecstatic. The Youth Olympic Games takes place once every 4 years, and not everyone gets a chance to compete in the YOG. I felt very happy that I was selected.
Although Chiam eventually lost to India's Aditya Joshi in the quarterfinals of the men's singles, he made Malaysia proud when he nabbed gold in the mixed doubles event. After the high of the Youth Olympics, the right-hander is now back working on his game as he bids to realize his dreams. Whilst Chiam knows that there is still plenty to learn to improve his skills physically, he's also trying to develop the mental and emotional part of his game.
Sometimes, I'm too eager to win and could not execute my shots properly. I will feel that it's a pity to lose a match this way. I will tell myself to work harder in the next match. I always remind myself not to take a win or a loss too seriously. I must control my emotion and play my game patiently.
With a determined and positive outlook and a little patience thrown in, Chiam Junwei may one day stand shoulder to shoulder with the world's best in the global arena. Before we go, let's find out what's happening on the international circuit in our Badminton Unlimited calendar. Next week on Badminton Unlimited, we catch up with Malaysian doubles legend Chia Soon Kit. And we're in Macau to find out how badminton is developing on the island. See you next week.